Hey kiddos, I sent out a video earlier this morning that was a story talking about fractions. And this week I had sent out several activities through vocabulary and through Nearpod for you to work on fractions because that's what we were going to be starting in the classroom this week. Fractions they're not really that bad. You just have to remember that it's dividing a whole into something smaller. So we're going to go through some slides here to help explain it better. I have gotten back some things from some of you guys, and it looks like some of you are really getting it, but I just want to make sure that I send out enough things that everybody's feeling comfortable and confident with fractions. Okay, kiddos? So we're going to start our stuff now. So some fraction basics. And here we go. So this would be 1/3, which is 1 is our numerator, and 3 would be our denominator. So the top number is called the numerator, the bottom number is called the denominator. To break that down a little more, the numerator is how many have been counted. So that would be what had been counted. And the denominator, how many equal parts has the whole been split into? So the whole had been split into 3 parts, and only 1 out of those 3, or 1/3, had been counted. So here would be the whole if this were 3/3, which would be a whole. And then if it is split into the 3, see, here's the 3, 1, 2, 3. So that would be your denominator. It's split into 3s because it's the 3 split into 3 sections of the whole. So here is how a visual would look for 1/3. The numerator, 1. The denominator, 3. There are 3 sections to this part of the whole. 1, 2, 3. But we're only counting the 1. So we're saying we have 1/3 of the 3. So it'd be like 1/3 of the class was at school today. So 1 out of the 3 groups. Here's another example. The numerator of 2 and the denominator of 3. So that would be saying there are 2/3, or 2 out of those 3, 2 that can be counted out of those 3 units. So 1, 2, and there's our 1/3. So 2/3 out of that whole. And it looks the same, right? So there's the 2/3. Now, if you were talking about 3/4 or 3/4, our numerator is 3 and our denominator is 4. So we would be breaking something into, we'd be breaking it into 4 parts, but we would only be counting 3 of those 4, so it would be 3/4. So if we have a circle here for an example, and we were going to split this into parts, how many parts are we going to split it into, kiddos? Yep, you're right, we would split it into 4 parts. How many of those are we going to count if we were going to shade those in? What do you guys think? Yep, we're going to be shading in 3 of those 4, so it'd be 3/4. So here they go. They split it into the 4, like we were talking about. The denominator tells us how many parts it needs to be split into, so it was split into those 4. And then we talked about, whoops, went a little too far down. Then we talked about how it would be shaded in. 3 out of those 4, so 3/4 were shaded in. That's what we counted. 3 out of the 4, so 3 out of the 4 parts that make the whole, because it was split into 4 parts, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's our denominator, or the equal parts that the whole is split into. And then it was the 3 of them that are counted, the 1, 2, 3 of them that are counted, so it's 3/4. Get to see you. Since I'm not getting to see you, I'm trying to send out some videos that I hope are helping you. I want you to understand how fractions work, but if you're having any questions, just message me. If you haven't gotten on Seesaw yet, that's a great way where you can send me a message when you're working through stuff, or you can have mom or dad or whoever message me on Remind, and if there's something specific you're having trouble with, I can try and help you that way. We can also Zoom, and we can just meet privately and talk about questions too. If you haven't signed up for a time for next week to Zoom, please try and do that. I sent out a message yesterday for everybody, so you can do that. And if those times don't work, let me know. I can try and schedule it for a different time that fits better for you. Okay, kiddos, I hope that this is helping, and I hope that things are going good for you guys. I miss you. See you later.